with bringing us into the future. And that's something that Endymion has been on the cutting edge of as far as specialty flows and signature units. The C unit is the Ferris wheel, and some of the, what you're going to start to notice is that some of the cues carry through to the other flows. If you recall, the Zephyr surrounded the whole of the park, and so it encroached upon some of the other rides, but it was a feature that was evident throughout the park. And so you'll see some of that same rise and fall in the Zephyr movements throughout this flow. A nice feature on this flow that I happen to like from a design standpoint is that the Ferris wheel is recessed. So it definitely gives you that 3D aspect, and some of the other units, some of the other parts of the unit actually pull to the front to create that depth that's going to help that Ferris wheel really come to life. Then we have the D unit, which is, if you guys all remember, there was the entranceway to Pontchartrain Beach and had the big red lettering at the top, and that's something that we wanted to carry over in the feature here. But right behind it, if you recall, was the Wild Mouse. And that was a treacherous little ride, but it's something that we all have precious and fond memories of, so I wanted to make sure we included that. And it was a personal favorite of Ed's as well. The next unit is the Haunted House. And I don't know if there was anything more imposing in a park than the Haunted House. And just like the Haunted House was at Pontchartrain Beach, obviously we kind of I kept to the original Haunted House design with some notable changes you'll notice when it rolls down the street. We kept with some of the smoke aspects of it and some of the creepy lighting, and so I think it's going to be very atmospheric and appropriate, yet it's going to take us to a place with this Haunted House that we haven't been before. The next unit is the Bathing Beauties. And this unit was, after I had a conversation with Mr. Muniz about, and I'm not going to get too personal about it, but he wound up mentioning this is where he met his wife, and he took her on a date. And so I paid particular attention to this unit to make sure that some of the cues from it were hearkening back to that, and that it was a predominant feature that I wanted to make sure we covered as we remember this flow. Because I want to say that a lot of this had predated my personal experience with Pontchartrain Beach, but I'm a fan of the history as well. So it kind of brought it back to me in a way that was more real than actually being there. The next unit we have is the Music Express. And regardless of what generation you were part of, the one thing you could count on about the Music Express was that there was always loud, blaring music coming from it. My personal favorite was Rick James. I think that's Ed's personal favorite as well. And we used to love getting on a ride. It gave you a headache, but it was one of those things that you just couldn't help wanting to jump on right after you got off. You want to get right back on. And so this thing will have a lot of the movements and a lot of the treatments, and all of these flows actually have creative cues as far as shape that mimic the design of the original ride. So that was something I was glad we were able to keep, but also have the Endymion update to it. And last but not least, we have the clown unit, I call it. And this unit, if you recall, in all the incarnations of Pontchartrain Beach in its long history, there was always a big clown head. And a clown head, through research, I discovered that had served many purposes. It was once the gateway to a hall of mirrors. Some cases it was just an icon, and it was a landmark in a park. And it's one of those features that we cannot pull this float off without having done. And if you see, the last of the movement of the roller coaster ends right here, where I think the most iconographic figure begins. And so that's how we kept the movement of the roller coaster running through every single unit that we have, and keeping all of these issues in concert. So to that extent, I've been proud to work on this, and I salute Endymion and their endeavors to get better and make the spectacle at large just be a profound experience for everyone now and in the future. Thank you guys.